innovation has arrived, with the speed to go beyond limitation and discover the unreal. Introducing the Samsung NVMe SSD 970 series, the key to unlocking your power, with the performance to reach beyond the expected, the capacity to illuminate a world of ideas, and the reliability to sustain it all. Samsung's latest NVMe M.2 SSD. Unreal performance realized.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to WCG 2020 Connected. The best players of China and Korea facing each other here in this wonderful, wonderful tournament. My name is Neo, my co-caster, of course, as always, Mr. Remo Demo. How are you doing on this very fine Monday?
I'm doing excellent, Neo. It is the start of another amazing tournament series, WCG 2020. We were there last year already, 2019, in Xi'an back then. An epic final that we witnessed there, a final event, I should say. Of course, this year, because of global events, will have to be online, but we still are going to have a ton of fun.
Exactly. Fun will be had, and especially if we look at the matches of today, you saw it in the pregame screen. It's Moon vs 120, and it's Infi versus Lin, and that is play day 1 of WCG 2020 Connected.
Yeah, this is just amazing. This is where the fun begins, guys. We have some insane matches today. China versus Korea seems to be the storyline. That's going to be an interesting story to follow here at WCG. It has been happening throughout the Warcraft history, and recently Korea seems to be having the upper hand, but China will want to come back in this tournament.
Absolutely, and they did in the major events recently, right? In Xi'an, it was Infi taking it over TH, and at WGL, it was Infi taking it over TH. So can Korea come back and claim one of the major titles in the scene? WCG has a couple of games here. Warcraft 3 Reforged, of course. You might know Crossfire, FIFA Online. We got the group stage here for the Warcraft 3 event. Starting today, it's going to be every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And if I see this prize pool correctly, $13,000 for the winner, $5,000 for the runner-up, $4,000 to $3,000 for the ones who make it to the playoffs. So it's all about the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. This is, of course, where you want to go as a competitor, right? You want to advance through your stages and make it deep into the tournament. We're going to have group stage, we're going to have knockout stage, and then we're going to have the playoffs to decide who gets the top ranks and who gets the medals. I wonder, do they still get medals? I hope so. That was always such a nice tradition at WCG.
In Israel Meisterschaft, there was a trophy handed out to X-Lords, so I hope WCG is following that up as well. So, Remo, what is the system here? Because WCG always had some interesting things. We had round-robin group stages. What's going on in 2020?
Yeah, we have round-robin group stages as well, and it's best of threes, but there is a specialty here. It's full best of threes, meaning if it comes to a 2-0 score, the series doesn't end there. All 3 maps will be completed at all times, will be played at all times. And all you smart viewers out there will realize that means all matches will end either with a 2-1 score or with a 3-0 score. But the most important thing here is the win. It's not like the 2-1 victory gives you 2 points and the 3-0 victory gives you 3 points. It's still essentially a win is a win. But if it should come to the case that there's an equal amount of win between players, then map score will become important. And then, of course, a 3-0 win in one of your series will go a long way. So keep that in mind. We're going to play all 3 maps in each of these matches.
Okay, we've seen Group A already. That is Moon and 120 here today. Lingguagua and Chimiko in as well. Group B, Infi, Lin, Joshishi, and Soin. So it's always 2 Chinese and 2 Koreans as it seems. I'm so excited for it. Today is such a banger opening to WCG. We see Group C. It's TH, Focus, Colorful, and Michael. A packed group right there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. TH, it seems like he has something to prove this year. The last couple of big events, it was his brother in arms, Infi, standing victorious above him. You mentioned it, at WGL and at WCG last year. And yeah, there's a lot of pride that goes into this. Michael, it's going to be fun to see him the first time in a while as well, to see what the undead scene is looking like in China. We know it's very strong in Europe, but over in Asia, not so many representatives.
Group D, WFZ, Sock, Fly, and Lawlight. It feels like Fly and Lawlight are constantly meeting. So are Moon and 120, and seemingly Infi and Lin as well. This is a packed tournament, and that's not the only tournament that WCG has for us Warcraft fans here in 2020.
Yeah, absolutely. We also have a team competition going on. We're going to have 2v2 championship happening as a part of the grand festivities as well. That's something we're going to have the chance to look forward to. Something we didn't have last year, but this year it's been added, and looking forward to it, man. More Warcraft action, and I've been craving some team games.
Exactly. 120, we see him on the left-hand side for China, the Undead Necromancer. He got a WGL title, but he never participated in WCG. There were 2 slots for China in 2019. Back in 2013, when the second last WCG was happening, he wasn't even playing yet. One of the newcomers in the Warcraft 3 scene, and of course Moon, the big WCG story. He's won it all. $600,000 prize money to his chest. The only player who has achieved that much, but never a WCG title.
And we also saw the map bans here coming in already. So yeah, the best of 3. We know we're going to see all 3 maps of these concealed. Northern Isles, Last Refuge. That is pretty standard, I would say. Moon and 120, they have had a really interesting dynamic. It has been Moon looking very superior for the most part, but 120 has been able to eke in a few victories here and there. And just over the last few weeks, it was fascinating to see Moon adapting at a time when a lot of Night Elves seem to be rather desperate in a couple of matchups, but Moon always finds the answers. Of course, Moon, a legend in the game, the biggest legend in the game. But WCG, that's the one thing he still needs.
Exactly. He's coming fresh of next win. That is the second biggest tournament in China next to WGL. He won that one in the final over Sock. Can he take that momentum into WCG? It's going to be a long tournament. As we said, weekly content from Monday to Wednesday, high noon to start the week. Usually we said here at Back to Warcraft, we have a holy Monday where we take days off, but if WCG is calling, what can you do?
Who needs days off, dude? Who wants days off when we have such amazing games, such amazing players? Can't wait for the action here to start. We're gonna be spoiled again. Last WCG already provided us with so many amazing games. It was a fun process as well to go through with all the qualifiers around the world. This time around, unfortunately, not the case because of the whole COVID situation, of course. But it's still awesome to see that a really fun and competitive tournament here has been put together. And we are only moments away from beginning our first match.
Ooh, they cue a new music track here. That could be the start right there, and it is. Let's kick this off. It's WCG 2020, the connected edition. Not in Xi'an this time, but here on streams and from home. Still lots of money on the line, and WCG, one of the biggest titles in all of Warcraft 3 history. And it's one of the best kickoff matches that we could have hoped for. It is in the upper right, in the red for China, 120. And of course, in the bottom left, in the blue, a man who needs no introduction. It's a living legend. It's Moon.
All right, guys, let's get settled in. Let's enjoy this for what it is. It's 2 of the strongest players in the world with a rivalry that has been amazing to witness throughout the last couple of years. Moon has been looking superior for a while, but hold on. Hold the phone. Is that a neutral hero build?
I thought the same.
Oh my god.
Moon is kicking this off with a bang. We've seen him doing this against Human recently with the Beastmaster. But is he implementing this against Undead as well? Or does he have another trick up his sleeve against Happy at WGL last time? We saw him play the Pandaren Brewmaster. But how does he start on a map like Concealed Hill? It could very well be an old school 2007 Beastmaster against Undead.
That would be super fun to see. I think we're both fans of the Beastmaster. I'm especially a big fan of the Bash Bear, who's recently been buffed.
Buffed?
Buffed. That's exactly right. 1-2-0 is playing standard here. Nothing weird from him. It's a DK opening with a happy build. Quick into tech, fast into fiends. This map can be very hard to creep for all races. Ancient of War is normally what the Night Elf relies on early. But on this map here, you can only creep one camp, really. And then you have to wait a long time until you can use it again. And it's the Beastmaster indeed, with the bear first.
Wow. You seem to be slightly ahead of me. So we have to think about that. Bear first, man. This is something I have never seen before. Does 1-2-0 know about this possibility, and how will Moon be able to play this? Quite some questions here to start this day.
The DK, though, not being mana burned here at all, should pretty easily be able to get that last hit, right? Yeah, okay, it's a lot of experience here, swinging the other way. We can see the Death Knight, who's not beginning to creep, is actually the one with more experience. And End Snare on the Archer there, a little unfortunate, but that one can be saved. Moon, of course, knew this could be happening. A Death Knight Harass might always be coming in, especially with that being meta build nowadays for Undeads. But he still decides to go for the Beastmaster. So he knows he's not going to be leveling as crazy early on, but it's just his flavor of the month. Playing it against humans successfully, and now playing it against Undead as well.
So this is like, how do you prevent this DK harass? You don't have range attacks like you would have with the Keeper of the Grove, for example. You can't really mana burn to prevent the coils you would with the DK. And that's what's happening here. Good start for 1-2-0. 1.6 levels here, and there's still 2 coils. The Beastmaster, not with the greatest start I've ever seen, but it's Moon. He must have a plan. He must have expected this. 1-2-0 with a very quick harass, though, not creeping his upper right, not creeping his turtles, not creeping anything. So maybe he did not expect this and picked the Beastmaster because of the early creep possibilities here, and is just surprised by the young Chinese.
Okay, more and more archers are coming out. The Beastmaster, much like the Keeper and many other summon heroes, he is strong early on with the summons. Oh, there was another last hit steal right there. The DK about to hit level 2. Beastmaster still a little further away. Beastmaster strong early with his summons, but then will certainly fall off in the late game, which means you will need to expand at some point. You have the summons, you can creep pretty well, you're supposed to expand, and then get ahead with mass, and also get pretty far ahead in levels.
He got the entire camp! He got all 3 turtles! That is massive. Unholy Aura unlocked the Beastmaster, capped at 1.4. And this is not the strongest moment for 1-2-0 yet. This is usually just to buy some time. Moon, again, is it the WCG curse right away?
Yeah, this is not working out at all. And this is kind of what you're afraid of that is happening if the opponent plays a very strong DK. And with this being 1-2-0, of course he's playing a very strong DK. Naga, second follow-up for the Undead. Since there's no Demon Hunter with boots, this Naga is really under no danger of being pressured at all. And on the other side, the archers certainly are. This game is not coming together at all for Moon yet.
Amazing. The damage against the bear as well. He's supposed to be the tanky summon, right? He's supposed to do some damage against fiends, but if there's a Naga and 2 fiends and a level 1 bear only, he deals with them super quickly. So the good thing for Moon, he was able to get a couple of archers. He didn't lose any of them, but of course the damage isn't that great against fiends, neither is it against heroes, and 1-2-0 is just not leaving Moon alone. Can he finally reach level 2? Oh, sweet. Block is, of course, not that hard if the enemy is slow. But, man, the Beastmaster is barely even moving. And mind you, there's another coil.
Nice Shadow Melts there by Moon, though, as well. 1-0 forgot about the dust. His only mistake so far in this game. And at least the archers are being saved. But this is not the early game you want with the Beastmaster. You want to creep up quickly, expand at some point, and get level 3 fast. And then either make use of the strength of level 2 Quill Beast, or even the Bash Bear can be pretty good against Fiends. But this Beastmaster still stuck on level 2 because of this amazing harass that we saw from 1-2-0.
Moon is expanding, but he's expanding in his own base. So he has to move this Tree of Life over to the bottom right. This is almost a desperate play, I would say. Cost, of course, a lot of resources. 1-2-0 is taking a little bit of a break, takes the pedal of the metal and creeps the middle, which is, of course, the biggest camp that we have on Concealed Hill, the best item we have on Concealed Hill. But Moon, what a relief to finally be able to creep something and finally be able to get level 2.
Alright, but he also needs to open up the expansion, needs to waddle over the tree, needs to start mining there. So it's gonna take some time. And I imagine Moon's not teching with this, right? I guess he's staying tier 2 and just massing, trying to hold on. Which means the longer this game goes for 1-2-0 with his tier 3 and triple hero in a moment, this should be looking better and better for the Undead.
You know what? Moon doesn't need tier 3. He gets his Dryad on tier 2. And what else does Moon need but Dryads?
Yeah, he's very good with Dryads, that's true. But once there's A-Bombs plus Disease Cloud, triple hero, and a good number of Fiends, Dryads can have a pretty tough time. But Moon is the best in the world. We'll see how he does it. Opens up the natural now, finally. That is level 3. Is he going Bash Bear? He is. Bash Bear over Quill Beast. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, if you're facing a lot of Fiends, that might make sense. It's also more resistant against the Destroyer's Dispel. So I can see that. Will he have the time to establish this expansion and make this expansion pay off? That's the big question. 1-2-0. Still no level 3. His levels are kind of subpar. Got a big claw. That's sweet. Lich is coming. Bear scouts this. Destroyer upgrade is almost finished though. And then of course the orb for the Lich as well. And big damage for the Undead. Moon is creeping now. With all his anti-air, with all his archers, that is a lot of damage. And this must be a Beastmaster picking up a lot of speed here. There seems to be no second hero.
Yeah, he's playing Beastmaster solo. He gets to level 4 quickly. Quel'Thala's Boots, definitely one of the worst items here that Moon could have found, but it's experience. He's not tier 3 though, so he's not getting a lot of solo experience, just a little bit of a boost. If he gets to level 5, the Blink Bash Bear is actually pretty damn good against Fiends. Is that the idea?
If you want, like, if your game plan is to rely on a level 3 spell, that seems a little ill-advised to me, but I'm not in a position at all to criticize Moon for his genius. Oh, Claws plus 12 in combo with the Claw plus 9. That is a pretty dangerous Naga already.
Alright, Moon looking to be aggressive. Up the high ground. Couple of misses involved here as well. Level 2 for the Lich. 1-2-0 says, hell yeah, I'm gladly taking this fight. But Moon falls back, loses one archer. He scouted the expansion in the top left. The Beastmaster's going up there with his summons. Can he cancel this? I think he should be able to.
Okay, we'll see about that. He's moving south for sure, but still no level 5. Another unit falling for Moon. Still in trouble. 50 supply for 1-2-0. He is hitting his power spike. Level 2 already. Frost armor ready. 1 level of Fork Lightning. And even a ghoul to put more normal damage on this building. There is Nature's Blessing. It is more armor on this building, but apparently 1-2-0 doesn't really care. Moon is gathering his forces coming from the left-hand side. It's pure Dryads and Summons and not level 5. He has a heal scroll. He has a dust this time against Burrow, but the expansion is already halfway down. Lich got a Nova ready, Fork Lightning ready for a possible repair as well. Moon needs the perfect engagement to keep his expansion up. One Destroyer morphed, 66 supply for Moon. The mass is speaking in favor of the Korean, but the focus fire and the damage speaking volumes for the Chinese. Archers are falling. One Fiend is getting attacked by the Bears and the Beastmaster, but microed back, and of course the Frost armor is excellent against the melee damage. Lich in a little bit of trouble here, and also the Frost Armor helping so much. The coil is ready, 1-0, not taking any risks here, even though there's no nuke. Losing a first Fiend, so the DPS definitely reduced. Oh, second one, saved by the coil. Can he start this Dryad Slaughter? Doesn't seem like it. 1-0 down to 44. As I said, there is a dust, so Burrow doesn't help at all. 1-0 is losing a lot of Fiends during this push. He is killing a bunch of stuff as well, but is that enough, is the question.
Yeah, Moon saved a lot of units here with his excellent Dryad micro, as so often, still at 70 supply. And now that the statues are gone, the mana is low. He might be doing this with a Beastmaster solo who's not even level 5. And guess what? He's really close now to level 5. But the expansion across the map is also coming up.
Yeah, that's the most important part. It wasn't a knockout blow. That's why 1-0 was only on 50 supply. Saved some resources, expanded as well. Well, should maybe attack with the DK. Tree of Life hits pretty hard. Is it time to retreat? There is a TP, there is an Invo Potion. He should be safe. And that cost quite a bit. Moon still 68 supply. Who scales better now? Moon still has the opportunity to go for tier 3 if he wants to, for maybe some Mountain Giants. Wait, is he towering up 1-0's expansion?
Yeah, there's something on the minimap up there, that's for sure.
Beastmaster's gotta be careful. Drops the parry up before using the Moonwells to get a little extra juice. With an AP, that could be pretty smart, or even an Engine of War to block could be pretty smart. We'll see it in a second. There's this building, one Nerub tower up. Dryads are storming in, not much damage from the Nerub tower. Only haunting these acolytes. 1-0 sees this attack coming. Town portals home. Dryads will be slowed by this Nerub. That's definitely at least one kill, probably two. And Dryads, we call them walking XP tombs.
Yeah, and the DK is about to hit level 4. That's a big deal. This aura will help a big amount. It's a lot of Dryads though still. It seems like Moon has to do something right now. Get something done while he still has this big Dryad mass. Upgrades, by the way, only 1-0 for the Dryads. That's something that I would like to see more of. Beastmaster getting focused heavily. Whenever he walks into the front line, he's getting attacked right away. Whoa! But that's a lot of Fiends possibly going down right here. One falls. Second one in the ground. Burrowed, but still taken out. That's level 5 Beastmaster now.
How is that even possible, Moon? The early game was absolutely horrendous. But now there's an Abomination with Disease Cloud infecting all these Dryads. But it is damaged over time. It's a lot of tankiness. He needs to take this damage off of the Fiends and somehow heal. There are statues in the back. But the big bears, level 3 Lich, also big damage boost. Can he know about the Beastmaster? He's dangerously low. Only focusing on the units so to get more progress on his own units. Oh, Moon! Here's the coil while in the air. He is taking the town portal and retreats. That looked scary though.
Yeah, but once you are on Blight and have a narrow tower and statues in the back, this undead army super late game is just so strong. The level 3 bear is pretty good, but if it gets focused by 70 supply undead, it still doesn't survive long, and neither does the Beastmaster. We saw it time and time again. Whenever he runs into the front line, getting focused right away, no redo to help him, rarely an invul. And Moon is certainly getting outscaled here. He doesn't have much time left to win this game.
So, yeah, 1-0 is getting up to 70 as well. Has the tanks in front now. Takes the damage off of the Fiends. Oh, will it? Frost Armor is helping. Limited mana on the DK. Will he go for TP? Not yet. Buys another heal scroll. Wants to stay in this fight. Confident in his skills. Takes care of the bear first with the 2 dispels. That makes a lot of sense. Beastmaster only has a potion. Gets an invul now as well. And the next heal scroll. But there's a big coil nova. Invul potion forced right away. The Abomination falls. 1-0. Not much space to move here. He's with his back against the wall. Against the tower, I think. Now Naga level 4. And Nova, and there's a lot of Fork Lightning possibility to kill this Beastmaster. Not getting it, not enough. The potion saves him one more time, but everything else is falling apart.
Yeah, he needed his entire inventory there to just stay alive, but he needs more than stay alive. Moon needs to come in with a big attack and destroy this army of the undead, but I think it may not be possible anymore. 1-0 now has 4-4-3 hero levels, very strong, and tier 3, a well-rounded army with sustain, whereas Moon basically only has Dryads and summons. Good for mid-game tempo plays, but in the super late game, not the best thing you can hope for. However, this is Moon. So you can never count him out. You don't know what his next strike of genius is going to be. But it's going to be very hard to win this game.
Yeah, this first strike of genius is trying to intercept reinforcements. The Dryad poison stacks, so it needs a couple of volleys to take this A-bomb down, but it is quite effective. But now, getting sandwiched in between the towers, in between the buildings, and the army on the left-hand side. Reveal used once again. The bear is big, but doesn't hold his ground against this undead army. The bear is huge, actually. Maybe the first time I see this in Reforged.
It's a big boy bear, absolutely. I think he hit the level up a little too late, though. Imagine if, like, when the island's around 50 supply, maybe 55, if then the Beastmaster's level 5, and then he has the Blink Bash bear, that can make a big difference in a smaller army kind of fight. But that all comes down, of course, to 1-0's early game, slowing down this Beastmaster so insanely well. Moon is still running around with his Dryads, looking for openings. But the Beastmaster, whenever he's found by the undead army, he just has to run.
How long does Moon have? He's splitting his forces. There seem to be a lot of Dryads to the upper left, but I guess the counter to that is one Spirit Tower. I think that's enough, right? Still trying to catch reinforcements. The rally point benefits him here. Can he do something with the Beastmaster ultimate?
I think that's his hope. I think that's his only ace left up his sleeve. He can't really win a fight. He just has to find kills and then somehow make use of Stampede.
Yeah, that sounds a little, like, not that hopeful from your side, Remo.
Yeah, it is not. But there is a possibility here somewhere. It's always difficult when you have to win the game without being able to fight. It is doable. Warcraft 3, it's not only about being able to win fights and defeat your opponent's army. No, it can also be about run-bys, about building kills, about economy harass, about these guerrilla tactics. But whenever you're forced to play a game like that, it's really tough to do because you have to be very careful with your positioning. You always have to be on the lookout, on the run, pretty much. And this game is not easier for 1-0 than it is for Moon. 1-0 only has to make sure he doesn't lose his economy, and he doesn't allow Moon to get a third base. And then just ride this out all the way towards the end.
Yeah, that could be Moon's game plan as well. Wait until the main gold mines are empty and move the Tree of Ages into the middle and hold that to... Oh, he actually wanted to expand in his base again, but it's getting shut down by 1-0. He's had enough. He wants to end this game right here. Base build is pretty okay, or was at least, to create some distance to the tree. We have a base race now, but base racing with Dryads is not that great. And the Tree of Ages looks like he's made out of paper. Moon's gonna lose his main building.
I tried to come in there with a Sapper, but I was killed. The Destroyers in the back were really good. The Wisp Repair. Against Fog Lightning and Nova, it's impossible to do pretty much. And that is the Tree of Ages going down. No more main building for Moon. But he doesn't want to go back. Can't go back. Oh, well, I guess now he does. TP for TP trade. Moon was trying to get as many kills as he could at the expansion. Get as much experience as he could. To get to level 6. And he is kind of close now with 5.7. But yeah, he's not there yet.
He's at that range for quite some time now. I really like the move of 1-0 to keep the 2 Destroyers at home. In that position, you still want to dispel all the summons to reduce the damage, and you have the safety of the trees to move the Destroyers there and, yeah, be safe. So, what's next for Moon? He's trying so hard, but every single attempt of his to get back into this game is getting shut down by 1-0.
Yeah, we just saw 1-0's resources there a moment ago. He has like 1.5k gold. He's taking this really relaxed. He knows how far ahead he is. Buy some TPs, buy some staffs. Most importantly, don't allow Moon to get a third base. That's the only way I think
Moon first
can actually lose this game.
Moon first needs a second base. Lost his main tree. He's just mining from 1. For a bit, of course. But yeah, once again, the 2 Destroyers, double dispel, then you got mana, then you focus the bear. I think this Beastmaster is not working out against Undead. And Moon sees it the same way. GG. The WCG curse again? Question mark. The Chinese takes map number 1.
The Beastmaster is in fashion right now. We saw it against Human, especially on Last Refuge, looking quite strong. But against Undead, didn't hit his power levels in time. He is a summoner hero. He needs to get ahead. You need to be up in bases, up in supply. And that was the case for a while, where Moon was like at 70 and 1-0 at 55. But 1-0 was like, okay, I'm not just going to bang my head against the wall, do or die at your expansion. I'm going to apply a bit of pressure that you have to respond to, and I'm going to expand across the map myself, and I'm gladly going to the late game. We can drag this out 30 minutes. Hell yeah, no problem for me. And then it was Moon under pressure, having to make something work. And when you don't have Mana Burn or Fan of Knives or Breath of Fire or any of these high-impact spells in the late game, winning fights is like impossible.
Yeah, it's pretty much impossible. Wasn't Moon's game plan to take a straight-up fight? There was also no transition, though. Curious. So, first win for 1-2-0. Moon. Next chance on Last Refuge. We're gonna play the entire set, so definitely 2 more maps coming up here at WCG Connected 2020. Last game between the two, by the way, was DreamHack Summer Asia. It was Moon taking the victory 2-0. Before that, 1-0 with a 3-2 victory in the AWL semi-final. And prior to that, Moon with a huge win streak, taking 6 series in a row from November 2019 to July 2020. He was reigning supreme over 1-0, but his new trick didn't work.
Yeah. Last Refuge, though, our next map. What do you think? Do you think we might see it again, or is it time to move away from the Beastmaster?
Good question.
Because I think he may just do it again. Because Last Refuge is such a good map for it. You get the first camp fully with the Ancient of War and archers before the DK arrives. That's a big deal. Those coil steals in the early game were a big problem. And even better, with the Beastmaster, that's the biggest upside of playing him against Human on this map, I think. You can secure the Merc camp pretty easily. It's a big camp that gives you a lot of benefit with experience, items, and Merc support, but it's hard to take. Hard as hell to take. But the Beastmaster, if you go for Bear and Quillbeast early, suddenly you can take it. Suddenly you have Merc support, and a little bonus, the DK can't steal the big last hit off the Rock Golem. So he may do it again. I would like to see it again. Honestly, just on paper, I feel like he doesn't make much sense on Concealed, really. And we saw why, especially with that early game. But on Last Refuge, I wouldn't mind seeing the big boy Beastmaster again.
I think he was just a little bit surprised by 1-0 rushing over immediately. But yeah, how much does the Beastmaster and Moon in general benefit from level 2 on the Beastmaster? Because that was something that 1-0 prevented for, like, what, 4 minutes?
Yeah, it's a good question. Like, it's a lot, I think, on the Beastmaster about mana efficiency. What's the better spell to use? Like, for an eternity, we saw Bears never being used because it was way too expensive in mana, with back then 125. Nowadays, it's 100 mana. Quillbeasts are 60. Quillbeasts are, of course, a little bit weaker. But what's the better spell to use in which situation? How can you get the most value out of your hero to snowball properly? That's something that Moon mastered like no other with the Keeper. Having the right creep route, having the right build, being in the right spot at the same time with the right skill points, with a perfect level up at the perfect time. The Beastmaster, I don't think he has mastered as well yet, but he is very dedicated, it seems, to becoming very good with that hero.
Alrighty, let's see how far we go on this very map here. Last Refuge, map number 2, it is. And Moon is starting in the upper right in the blue. We get the resources now as well. That is pretty nice. W3 booster in action. 1-0 in the purple now. Or is that this one special color lavender or whatever, Mr. Revo?
I'm not 100% sure. I'm
you're
sorry,
you're
Neo.
the master of the colors.
I'm
Dude,
sorry,
how
bro.
disappointing.
I think it's purple, though. I think it's purple.
Okay, we see the altar this time a lot earlier though, so no Beastmaster. Demon Hunter or Keeper? Or is it Warden?
Nah. Moon is not the best Warden player. He's not the guy who always wants to play Warden. I would like to see the Keeper here. In their last encounter on this map, it was here where he played Keeper Hunts Expo Air, which looked really good. That seemed like a super strong build. And we're gonna see what the hero is. Keeper indeed.
Okay. Entangle Treants, that's the name of the game this time. Is it gonna be mass archers with this as well? Or is it the normal builds? We'll see. 120. We'll scout this. Sees, okay, there's an altar. I can focus on my own progress a little. But for the Keeper, it's not that great of a map, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not that easy to get a quick level 3, but it is doable. This is for Night Elf and for many other races, like around your natural with the green camps, with the Ogre Magi, with the Gnoll, you can creep up to level 3 pretty well usually, and that's where the Keeper then can take over the mid game. This should be the goal for Moon, I imagine, but kind of like on Concealed, if the DK comes in early for Harass and steals a couple of creeps with the coil, that can very quickly become a lot more difficult.
Okie-dokie. Keeper is moving over, and 120 is also rushing over immediately. No creeping again. Just Rod of Necromancy, just Harass. Keeper's trying to find him here, or it doesn't. Old school undead rush into the Night Elf base, trying to get rid of some wisps.
Yeah, interesting. Maybe he thinks there's going to be a Hunter's Hall involved again early. It's something that Moon was playing for a while, and with that the tech is already later. And then if you kill wisps, that's going to exacerbate the problem even more. I don't think we see a Hunter's Hall here yet, though. Good juggles on these wisps. So far, wow, even gets off the detonate. So the killing blow is not achieved for the DK. Didn't get the experience here. And this Death Knight Harass, definitely not the way he was picturing it. Almost spent all of his mana, only a single coil left, and no experience. And that's a Hunter's Hall. Yeah,
there is a Hunter's Hall now. So is Moon going again into this mass air strat that we've seen from him? Ooh, no detonate. A little bit of experience, the first bit of experience for 120. So, what's next? Another wisp juggled? 120 doesn't really have to adjust his strategy. I think he can just play a little bit more ghouls and then switch into fiends. Has to be careful with fiends against Entangle, of course, but he definitely needs them against whatever comes at tier 2, whether it's mass air from Moon or Dryads.
Yeah, this was really well played by Moon before in their encounter here, this whole mass air strat. And it looked like 120 didn't have an answer. So this is always really interesting to observe between top players when one guy comes up with a really smart build and with that gets a strategical win. And then in their next encounter soon after, the other one will have an opportunity to respond. That's going to be 120's opportunity this time around. I really like these archers with his air style because there's going to be fiends, obviously, to deal with the air, and the huntresses do better damage than the archers do against that. And here we do see the expansion coming up. The hunts also give you early map presence and creeping possibilities. Keeper will get pretty close here to 3. 120 opening up the natural early. Is he thinking about counter expanding?
Yeah, I thought the same. We'll keep an eye on the bottom part of the map if there's an Acolyte moving over. Moon knows what's up. Moon saw him creeping there, so he knows, okay, there's no threat to me in the north at the moment. But Keeper really wants to do damage in the early mid-game. Is he ready for that? Not level 3, he's getting very close, might even be getting it. Tech is almost finished, expansion should be running soon. How's the answer by 120? Wait, is that a double crypt?
Oh my god, he's playing Gargs?
Chinese can't play Gargs! That never happened!
Well, it's happening now. With Slaughterhouse as well. Normally when we see Gargs, it's only Gargs from Double Crypt. No Slaughterhouse, no statues. That means he's skipping the Lich, I guess?
Yeah. Good thing about Gargs, they can't be entangled. So how useful is this keeper? He felt the power of Moon's Huntress and Mass Air play. And now he's reacting with his own Mass Air. Gargoyles versus Fairy Dragons. Maybe. Or is Moon switching back to Archers against this? What to do?
He has to. Yeah, he has to. Pretty smart in this point in the game for 1-0 to go for Gargs. Very good against Keeper, very good against Hunts, and Moon getting kind of punished for not having Archers in time. But more Archers will be coming, I am sure.
Okay, DK very, very hurt. Doesn't want to use the TP, so he's moving away. The Gargs can hang around. There's no big threat to them. Archers, of course, but there's also skeletons threatening the anti-air. And he can always fly above the trees, cancelling the Entangled Goldmine. He can't kill the Tree of Life anymore. But if you delay the Entangled Goldmine, that's fine as well. Alchemist second for Moon. Now no AP, no static defenses, and long range for Archers.
Okay. Was that enough damage? That AP cancel? That delay? It's not like 1-0 is going tier 3 behind this. He's still tier 2 only. The Lich will be coming in after. And I think all Archers survived from what I saw. Supply-wise, we're still very even. But this expansion, in around 40 seconds or so, will start mining. And then Moon will be able to mass way better. But 1-0 now going for tier 3. Okay.
Okay, yeah, Frenzy and Stone Form. Well, Stone Form, you don't really need that, but Frenzy still for Ghouls is very good. We have the Lich out. Nova, first Archer dead. How much damage can he do against the Guards? 1-0 seems to be okay with the control. Ghouls are moving in. We have a lot of focus fire on this DK. Apparently Moon doesn't want to fight here. Next Acid Bomb on the Guards. DK in trouble, has to be moved away. It's not level 3 yet. Is that the necessary damage? He can't follow this up. His heroes are way too hurt to attack the expansion.
As far as Gargs and Ghouls go, that went pretty well. Ooh, the DK having to run. With the aura, of course, he is pretty fast. And I think that was 2 Archers going down. That is manageable losses, I think, for me.
Yeah. And Gargs should be superior at this point. And where to get level 3 now? Moon with his level 2 keep Entangle and Acid Bomb is so dominant. He has the AoE damage over time against the Ghouls, against Gargs, and he's establishing his wealth with the expansion. Tier 3 coming up as well.
Whoa. That seems pretty greedy to me. Isn't
Mass
there a
Archers,
dangerous... Isn't there a dangerous tier 3 timing for 1-0 around the corner? You could definitely go up to 55 supply, heal Scroll, Frenzy, and then run in. And Moon is not trying to mass with Dryads against that. Didn't we see exactly this at DreamHack from Neutron all the time?
DK in a little bit in trouble. Yeah, kind of with the Naga. DK has the big Invo potion, found it here at the shop, needs to use it immediately to stay alive, so he has a very limited time to do damage here. Moon gets the rest of the camp. Very greedy by 1-0. Had faith in his spells to be able to get rid of the Ogre.
And it cost him that invul though. That could have helped perhaps later when the hero focus comes in again with Keeper Alchemist. Moon is going into upkeep quickly here. Not banking for too long.
1-0 playing pretty much at the limit now. Ghouls all hurt, DK still hurt. He realizes, okay, this is just an illusion. Moon is in the northern side of the map taking care of the laboratory. It wasn't a tier 2 expansion, so how long can 1-0 play 1 base versus 2 base? Moon is breaking up here.
And getting level 2. Heal Spray, very helpful for all these archers. Book of the Dead, not that helpful probably. It's very, very, very likely that there's going to be destroyers involved. As 1-0 has to consider the Keeper, of course.
Big mana potion, I like to see that. 250 mana. Down from 300 in case you're only watching WCG once a year. Let me try to adjust the sound. Sorry, that's so loud now.
So this looks like the big push by 1-0. He's got 46 supply. He does not have a heal scroll. Dark Ranger third.
Okay.
Oh wait, it's on the other side. I was confused there for a second. Dark Ranger against Archers, of course, makes sense. For a moment there, I thought Moon had it. That would be weird.
Okay. Ghouls, lots of damage. Tearing down this Moon. Well, this keeps Moon at 60 supply. No repair at all. Does he have time to kill the tree as well? Or at least the Haunted Goldmine. Moon is taking his sweet time. Not bothered at all. Adding the bottom now. No orb on her. Only, quote-unquote, on the Keeper. Who just got level 4. Coil, Nova, Alchemist, little bit in trouble, throws the acid bomb. These ghouls will melt soon. And Tangle once again to stop the decay in his tracks. Mana is limited despite there being no Demon Hunter. But yeah, ghouls all gone. Almost all gone.
Yeah, Moon was still fighting half against the creep camp there for a while with Inner Fire. Just takes forever. And 1-0 is trying to punish that.
Oh, Coil, this time couldn't dodge it. But he is trying to be safe. That opens up the expansion for the Chinese. Is he able to close this out? There's 3 ghouls still. That's more than I thought. And the Lich has another Nova to kill the repairing wisps. I'm worried for Moon, mate. This could be the 2-0 right here.
Yeah, it's a lot of damage against the tree. Moon is coming over from the main, but he doesn't have any movement speed. And where's the repair?
There was no
Too late.
repair. Gave it up. And that is Moon down to 1 base at 50 supply. Didn't really pay off. He wasn't able to get the big supply lead that he needs. And now red spot. 1-0 is accelerating so hard.
I think Moon can still recover though. It's not like he's stuck on tier 2 mass dual hero. No, he's got tier 3 triple hero. He can scale into the late game.
Wood of Cunning, not the greatest, but at least he got it. Not his opponent. Yeah, he can scale into the late game, but the Lich is also getting more powerful. The Black Arrow is getting more powerful. And that is a wonderful solution to the mass archers, because Moon can't really transition anymore, right? Not at 1 base.
Yeah, but mass archers are fine as long as you don't go up against mass A-bombs. Like against ghouls and fiends and all that, mass archers can work. It's just when it's a lot of A-bombs and heroes where the archers really have problems. And from our A-bombs, we still seem to be kind of far away. 1-0 has a good, like, timing push. Army had it at least with ghouls and gargs, but the later we go, the less impressive they will be. We have the first abomination now, and just 1 with Disease Scout is impactful. But we don't have the high amount just yet.
But we have Vamp Aura as well. It's a little bit of a lifesteal here. Because of attack for the bottom, even more damage. Bottom still the only orb carry, not on the Keeper. 1-0 gets the second red spot, man. He's owning that map now. Moon can punish this again, but 1-0 can just TP out again. Item this time. Didn't catch it yet. Oh, second Hood of Cunning. That's unfortunate. But of course, good damage at level 4. Dark Ranger's gotta be careful! 40 HP. And saved. Was that worth it?
I think so. Lots of experience. Good item. Well, not good item, but a big item and one that you can sell if you need to.
Don't you appreciate
Was that a second slaughterhouse? It may have been.
The agility of the Dark Ranger, Remo?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good, but at the same time, it's not much more than a slippers, so it's not like crazy.
1-0 with another attack. Moon's expansion just finished. It seems like the young Chinese has the game in the palm of his hands, knows exactly what Moon is doing. Goes to the turtle now. Could be trapped there. Is this the 3rd TP in 1.5 minutes? That's expensive.
Oh, and he doesn't have the camp yet, and Moon is coming in.
Dark Ranger once again hurt. Turtle should be going to 1-0. Or did Moon steal it? I think he stole it.
Possibly.
Didn't yeah, the DK is still at 4.0. That's level 3 bottom. That was huge for Moon.
Yeah.
And bottom
the destroyer as well, by the way.
No big item for 1-0. A little bit too greedy. Retreats now, and Moon is building an expansion at the bottom right. That might be a spot that 1-0 is not expecting.
But more and more creeps here for 1-0. Is going to get the next big item. He's almost got level 3 Dark Ranger. It's going to be a nice another level up. And he gets the Mana Stone. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
He's gladly going to take that.
Defense upgrades for abominations. He needs to mass them. But at the moment, he doesn't have the resources for them.
Moon's about to have 5, 4, 3 heroes. That's also pretty good. It's not the most amazing heroes. Like, not a single one of these 3 heroes is a late game powerhouse. But they're okay, you know? They're alright. And the levels are looking good. The DK and the Lich certainly will be the strongest here on the field. And the Dark Ranger also hits 3.
Yeah, bit of a better Black Arrow now. Lich is still lacking level 4. Moon always has vision with the 2 owls, knows exactly what 120 is doing, can react accordingly. Both at even supply. Heal Spray, of course, great in the late game. Alchemist, super tanky. Potom, a little bit of a glass cannon, but great damage. Only 1 staff, no TP. Moon has to hold this.
Yeah, the Coil Nova from range can very quickly snipe 1 archer at a time. And it's not that many archers yet. It's only 59 supply. And 120 can add in more and more A-bombs. Once he has like 4, maybe 5 A-bombs, he's gonna be really strong.
Typical undead play here. Coil, Nova, kill. Over and over and over again. Reducing the damage of Moon in the next fight. Abominations are trickling in. Moon is mining. Upgrades only 1-1. That seems a little low for Moon.
Yeah, didn't have the expansion, the economy from the second base, I guess, to put in more. 120 is getting really high in supply. 240 is the cost of 1 A-bomb. It's pretty crazy how even on 1 base you can go up high in A-bombs. But here we go. Do we engage into the fight? Not quite yet.
Looks like it. A little uncertain whether to go in or not, and it's damage raining down on this abomination. Finally 2 orbs. That is great damage over time as the 2 orbs stack. 1 abomination down, another one falling, another one on the right hand side is falling. Dude, Moon is plowing through these A-bombs. They're melting. And level 5 keeper now.
And level 4 alchemist as well. He's out of mana now, can't use his spells. But Moon is holding with mass archers against mass A-bombs. Shouldn't work, but because it's Moon, maybe it will. But this is far from over. 120 still has a scary army.
Huge Nova into these archers. Heal Scroll counters most of it. Disease Cloud is of course running. The coils are ready now. Lich completely dry. Can not eat anything at the moment here. Archers are falling left, right, and center. But for how long? Is that the case? Almost a triple kill here. Long range Shield Spray is doing a wonderful job. This Alchemist, what a carry. But that is +4 intelligence on Lich, baby. But the Dark Ranger falls.
Out of nowhere, didn't pay attention to her. No info anymore to protect. With his archer style, oftentimes you can't deal with the heroes, but the archer, the Dark Ranger falls. But the DK and Lich are still standing, and they are way more important. They're finding more and more kills.
And on the back of this fight, 120 is expanding in the upper left-hand side of Last Refuge, hunting down these archers. Moon down to 51, still almost even supply, but 2 big units about to fall for 120. And that's exactly the case here. Does he have enough firepower to threaten this expansion? I don't think so. Looks like we're playing 3-on-3 Dota soon. Oh, Potom getting nuked. That was big. Should have the staff ready. DK is catching a lot of fire as well. These 2 orbs are absolutely insane in combination with Acid Bomb. Once Acid Bomb is there, Focus Fire is just a guaranteed kill.
120 make use of his superior mobility. He's got the aura on level 2, so he's always quick to run away. But, dude, super impressive that Moon holds there.
Yeah.
Fighting against, what, 4 or 5 A-bombs there with archers, but with perfect spell usage and kiting and focus fire. Moon holds on. That was so hard to do. Now he's got 5, 4, 4 heroes. That's pretty good. But 120 is close behind with 4, 4, 3.
It's all about the heroes, all about the items. We do have Death Pact on 120, by the way, so no level 2 aura to be a little safer. We have an Invo Potion on the Lich, on Moon's side, double clarity, Invo Potion on the Potom as well. Level 4 Potom is something we rarely see, and Moon, thanks to the owls, knows exactly that the expansion is up.
120 is deciding not to defend up at his expo. He can't TP there either. There's no Necro.
One's level 5. Unsummons it. Would love to have a clock. Okay, about to be at the 21-minute mark. that means the main bases are expiring soon.
And that, I believe, is the win condition for Moon. Hold on to your Expo and ensure that 1-0 doesn't get another one up. And then ride it out. This Scout Owl being surprisingly good. Just always following the Undead around. There's nothing you can do about it. Can't kill it. Can't dispel it. It's just gonna be there.
Can just look at it as it is very, very beautiful. So, statue will be saved. Moon, will he save his tree this time? He can, of course, move his Tree of Eternity over to the upper left if he wants to. 1-0 has to commit hard to this, and he does. Acid Bomb, Focus Fire, Wisps, trying to repair. Feels like it's a little late. Nova says hello. This is dicey. Gets it. And the TP out didn't cost him too much.
Yeah, the repair. It all... Was that late? Or... Was it right? Was it just gonna fall anyways with the Nova? Well, alright. Expo killed. But here comes the nice benefit of Night Elf. With the tree now walking over from the main, he can establish an expansion again like that. But there's no Nature's Blessing, so... This is gonna take some time.
Game on the Knife's Edge. High level hero action. That's how we love our Warcraft. 1 heal scroll, 2 heal scrolls for Moon, 1 invul, only 1 staff, maybe a little cheap on that. We finally have Dark Ritual, of course, so the Lich can eat the minions that the Dark Ranger creates. Has an invul potion himself, super tanky DK with Ring, Parry, Apt, and Dodge. Upgrades 0-1. Finally the 2-1 upgrade for Moon. But yeah, no income for the Undead anymore.
1-0 could go for an expansion. He has the resources, but no, he's going into army instead. It's not that big of an army, but it's scary. Destroyers, A-bombs, and statues in the back, and most importantly, these heroes at 5-4-3.
It's great micro. Both at 56. Nobody is mining. It's of course down to the nerves now as well. Does 1-0 feel he has to engage already? Does he know that there's no Nature's Blessing, that Moon takes a long time? Moon already
How does this keep happening in Moon games, by the way? That we run out of gold and this is always so tense and we're blessed with these crazy games.
Moon just knows what his fans love, man. Double Dispel against the Treants. Archers are split in 2 groups, so the Nova doesn't hit all of them at the same time. I like that. Big concave now as well. The super tanky DK, not so tanky anymore after the acid bomb. 3 abominations done in the perfect position, connecting now. Can they find a good concave? Can they be covered with frost armor and coils long enough? Focus fire is pretty much a guaranteed kill. We got treants on the left hand side. We got skeletons all over the place. We got the heal scroll Moon used for Moon. Is this his first loss at WCG 2020, or will he tie this up? The Potter is in trouble and dead. The aura gone, and that's a level 2 aura. The DK survives, is invulnerable right now. Oh boy, Moon. Big supply lead. The Alchemist falls as well, and the WCG curse continues. The Keeper falling as well. That's a triple kill for 1-0. GG. 2-0 for the Chinese.
Well, I must say I wasn't expecting this. Moon today defeated with his stronger strategy, I would say. His more developed strategy on Last Refuge with the hunts into air with gargoyles. 1-0 plays Garg Ghoul timing, so rare to see, kills the expansion with that, and then has the strong transition into the late game with A-bombs and destroyers. Really strong game by 1-0. He already has the victory here guaranteed, but there's going to be one more map played. We're going to see the third map to see if 1-0 can make it a 3-0 and improve on his map score even more.
What a start this would be. His WCG debut, and he takes out Moon 3-0. A statement towards all the other participants here. We got, of course, Link, Wagwa, and Chimiko in Group A. They will be playing tomorrow, I think. It is a super tough group, and obviously Moon and 1-0 are the favorites, but especially in Human vs. Night Elf, a lot can happen. Jamaica was demolished by Moon, but maybe he found a solution against the Beastmaster now. So this loss puts Moon into a precarious situation. He can't be as sure anymore to make it to the playoffs.
Is he in trouble again? Is he in trouble again at WCG? Does it start so early? Would be an insane surprise if Moon doesn't make it out of the group stage. He is number 2 in the ELO rankings across the world, but 1-0 takes the victory today. That's gonna help him out with his ELO rankings quite a bit. The Undead was rank 7 as of today, but he's making a good case for himself again. You know?
Absolutely. We've never had a 3-0 in favor of 1-0. We've seen this from Moon in the DouYu Thunder and Fire Cup back in 2019. And yeah, that's it. That's the only 3-0 between them. Usually hard-fought series. Northern Isles will tell us if it's a horrendous start for the Living Legend or if he can at least get a map. That could be a factor down the road in this round-robin group stage.
Yeah, exactly. If it should come down to map score, which it very often does. Northern Isles, our third map. That is a map that Night Elves over the last few months have been removing more and more. We've been seeing them vetoing it in many different matchups. Early game serves them pretty well with big Ancient of War creeps and a pretty solid cruise towards level 3. But the mid-game creeping becomes really problematic, where the Ancient of Wars have a much tougher time, and before you get to bears and all that, you don't have any good ways of powering up your second hero, and your first hero for that matter. Speaking of bears, didn't see any of those. We saw Dryads getting tried in the first game, didn't work out in the end. We saw Mass Archers in the second game, didn't work out either. Didn't Moon just look pretty good with his Demon Naga 1-base bears? Why is he not playing it anymore?
Are you saying that a bash bear is not a real bear?
It's a different kind of bear.
Different kind of bear. We don't make any differences here. Yeah, he did. He looked super solid. He also looked super solid with his Hans Mass Air. Nothing came to fruition so far. I wouldn't mind to see Mass Air here on Northern Isles. It was always insane games with insane kiting between the two. But is this just exposed? Does 1-0 just know how to answer this? If he sees the early Hunter's Hall, let's go Gargs.
Yeah, it was some razor-thin timing there as well on LR, right? That AP cancel was like 3 seconds away from being finished, and then the Gargs are getting damaged more, and then the Entangled isn't getting cancelled. Then there's more income, then there's more supply more quickly. These tiny things have a large butterfly effect trailing after them. So this was still a very close game, but 1-0 clutched it out, got the 2-0 lead, and could make it 3-0 the first time ever against Moon.
Okay, here we go. We got Moon in the upper right. We got 1-0 in the bottom left. Called Shanghai versus Seoul here, and Shanghai making a strong statement here in game number 1. Second set of the day is going to be the 2 past WGL winners against each other. It's going to be Infi versus Lin, our current reigning WCG champion, giving us the honor. One of the very rare tournaments where Infi and TH play both, actually. So yeah, don't go anywhere after this set is finished, but first we have to conclude 1-0 versus Moon.
The fact that they're both playing is also a testament to what this means, this tournament, WCG. The history that it has had in Warcraft 3, the most prestigious event back in the day, the hype around it was insane and still is, and it is so highly valued by these players. So, what do we see here? What's the heroes going to be? Keeper, again. So, that means we're going to see some Expo. That much we know. But are you onto something, maybe? Is the Mass Air just not working anymore? What else could you play?
Yeah, that's the question that Moon is asking himself probably daily. Is that his weakest matchup by now? It's so weird. He's winning every Night Elf Mirror against Lawlight. He's winning against every Orc for like almost the entire year. And with the Beastmaster, he has great success against Humana as well.
He does, but against the Chimikos and Sox of the world. We haven't seen it against Infi and TH yet. We also thought the Keeper Archer triple hero was super good against Human, and then, you know, the big boys came to play. So we'll see how the strategy develops. We're not gonna see a Beastmaster here. I think doesn't make much sense here. There's no Merc camp to make use of. Not a part of the map. Did he Ancient of War deny that? Oh no, he didn't. Whew,
No.
that looked close though.
Yeah, I thought the same, but he has half the level here from the Magi, gets the Tuska, got the big mana potion, so lots of entangles. 1-0 might need a gardener to cut down all these roots. Focuses on himself as well, as almost all undeads do on this map first to get the unholy aura as fast as possible.
Yeah, the Ancient of War creep at the Tuska is great for the fast level 2, but the downside is you can't use it to creep the natural then. It's way too far away. The Night Elf can creep it without Ancient of War. Just a couple of Treants and Archers are sufficient, but only if the undead isn't around. If the undead does come in to harass with DK, skeletons, and maybe even ghouls, that can become problematic. But even beyond the first green camp, 1-0 decides to keep on creeping with a happy build here, which is 4 ghouls into tech and then fiends. Gets into that fast level 2. Scroll of the Beast can be helpful later on when there's a lot of fiends involved. And Moon is just left alone. He's got his creep camp, his creep route, and he can pull it off to his heart's desire. And he's gonna expand here quickly as well, it seems.
On the spot, not at the 12 o'clock position or between the bases, but right there, so he doesn't have to waddle over with the tree. That's fine. Ghouls are still hurt, of course, regening on Blight. 1-0 attacking at the moment. 2.5. Sold the Scroll of the Beast. Against Wisps, of course, not that helpful. And Ghouls mostly useful against buildings and archers. And there should always be Wisps nearby. And if you're facing Moon, you know he will use them well. We got a Telestaff for the Keeper. And that I find interesting.
Yeah. I like it a lot. You can run around the map, look for the undead, make use of the strength of your early level 2 entangle, maybe find some kills, and get back to the Moonwells quickly, making it very efficient to get up mana again and dominate the map. This is looking like a very old school game, I almost want to say. Keeper creeps level 3, then he has complete map control, undead can't do much hanging back in their base. This is the reason why recently you've been seeing undeads play much more aggressively against the Keeper, not giving him level 3 so quickly, but in this game it occurred now, to be fair. It's hard to prevent on this map. And now Moon, knowing his strength, is sharking around the undead base, and 1-0 needs to be careful about his fiends.
Yeah, I think he's playing it that way. The Fiend is parked far in the back. And this time it's no double crypt. Just going for the standard. Fiends into Slaughterhouse. Moon ready. We didn't see a Hunter's Hall yet, right?
Nope. Not going Hunts, just going Archers into Mass Air this time around. Maybe his idea is he has the Keeper quickly on level 3 on this map anyways, as it's so hard to prevent, so that's how he's going to control the mid game. He's not going to need Hunts for it. And now he can go for a second hero as well. Alchemist, usually what we see, or with the good position that he's in, even Demon Hunter could be good. Demon Hunter scales way better into the late game, but has the issue that he definitely needs to get level 3 and can't creep so well as the Beastmaster, Alchemist, excuse me, can.
This might be the first game where Moon is not hard countered. We saw this on game 1 where 1-0's harass was disabling the Beastmaster. Saw this on game 2 where the Gargoyles were disabling the expansion, or delaying the expansion. So far, Moon's best game for sure, but still not an easy win from here on out. Yeah, the Keeper is on a high level. We see the Demon Hunter, by the way, no Alchemist.
Yeah, as I said, scales way better into the late game, just has an issue of being worse creeping in the mid game. Comes out later, doesn't have Acid Bomb, but if you do get the Demon to 3 and maybe a couple of stat boosting items, he's way better in the super late game, as he prevents the coils and the Novas, especially the coils, very important. But where to creep now? This is kind of the classic Night Elf problem. Where can you creep safely? The middle is dangerous. You can always get creep jacked. The lab is pretty hard, and the red camp is way too hard. So at the moment, this demon is going to be stuck on level 1 for a while.
Yeah, he's haunting this Lich. Doesn't disable too many coils, but forces one. So he's mana burning the Lich. He's forcing coils off of the DK. So he's kind of getting rid of both manas. Now going for the DK. And that is a town portal, I guess. Can he reach again? Statue's taking care for now. And yeah, that's it. Can the Lich survive? That's a lot of focus fire. And Moon gets the second hero.
The TP with that wasted as well. That always feels a little bad. And that feels like Moon has all the momentum now. Importantly also, the Lich is dead and the TP is missing. That means he can creep the middle now. Would be amazing if the Demon could solo creep this. But for that, the army isn't quite strong enough. And we see the mass archers again, by the way. No air anymore. Marksmanship and archers all the way.
Yeah, he tried that before. Oh, we see Ghoul Frenzy already. Tried that before. That was countered, but mostly with abominations and high-level heroes. This definitely still takes some time, and I'm not sure if Moon is gonna allow 120 to creep up that high. As he's very powerful. Level 4, level 2. Expo running. 120 not in a position to do anything right now.
Frenzy Ghouls. I like seeing them in a good position. They can definitely work out well against archers. And there's no alchemist to punish them. No AoE of any sort, in fact. Oh, it's coming in for the creepjack. The frenzy is ready. And Moon may not be ready quite yet.
He's finishing the camp first. Heal Scroll, Dark Ranger again against the archers. That makes a ton of sense. Also against the Demon Hunter. Can probably prevent some mana burns. And there's no alchemist here, so these units of 120 will last a lot longer. There's no double orb yet with the Potom, so damage is limited. Here we go.
Moon having the second Ancient of Void, the expansion, we see this all the time. Seems to be losing it once more.
Holds on for now. Scary army, apparently. 50 supply against 50, roundabout. Lich again in trouble. The low-level Lich is definitely a liability. Dark Ranger's doing a decent job. A couple of skeletons, but the mana burns are doing hard work. DK also down to 50%. I don't know how much longer 120 can stay in there, but with the surround, Moon is closing the surround himself and has to stamp out this DK. Potom finally here for the aura. But man, the big damage dealer and tank is gone for now. Was able to heal up. And now with the heal scroll brings everything back to green. Kills the fiend. Looking good for Moon. GG!
Yeah.
2-1. Keeps... Or it is still the same. No 3-0 for 120 in this matchup. But he's winning the series. He's taking the lead in Group A. And Moon struggling from Series 1 on.
Good to see that at least gets one map victory, but yeah, this is not a very promising start for his group stage. Now, to be fair, 120 was his strongest opponent in Group A. Chimiko, also a very strong player, and Linguagua as well strong, but shouldn't be on the same level as the others, so Moon still has a chance to make it out here. But yeah, not off to the great start that his fans were hoping.
Fighting uphill, and 120 again claiming victory over Moon. They're trading wins again, just like it was in 2019. Long win streak for Moon since then. But here you see the result. The first two maps go to 120. Concealed Hill. Moon's Beastmaster didn't work at all. Neither did the Huntress play on Last Refuge. Northern Isles finally was a victory. But yeah, it's only map score. It's usually all about the W. Only a tie situation is, or makes map matter. So that's half of our day here, the first day of WCG. That was a banger of an opening, but the next one is Lin versus Infi.
I'm so looking forward to this, dude. This is, in my opinion, by far the best human versus orc in the world. They have had insane encounters. They push the meta forward. They are such a blast to see, to observe, and I can't wait for these games. As you mentioned earlier, the two latest WGL champions now going head to head.
Do you know that Infi is playing human? The overlay says it. But I only believe that Infi's playing human if I see that he's playing human. It could be everything. Maybe because it's WCG, he's sticking to human, the current reigning WCG champion, current reigning WGL champion, Infi. He likes to play random nowadays. He likes to play undead. He can play everything at one point. He was also the third best night elf in the world. His skills with all the races are absolutely insane. And the match is going to be wonderful.
Yeah, it's true. I kind of forgot about that for a moment. Normally, in the biggest, most serious tournaments, he will play his main race.
We go into a break and then discuss this match. WCG Connected 2020 continues in a bit.
SSD 970 series. The key to unlocking your power. With the performance to reach beyond the expected. The capacity to illuminate a world of ideas. And the reliability to sustain it all. Samsung's latest NVMe M.2 SSD. Unreal performance realized. powerful innovation has arrived, with the speed to go beyond limitation and discover the unreal. Introducing the Samsung NVMe SSD 970 series, the key to unlocking your power, with the performance to reach beyond the expected, the capacity to illuminate a world of ideas, and the reliability to sustain it all. Samsung's latest NVMe M.2 SSD. Unreal performance realized.
WCG 2020, the three letters always guaranteed goosebumps. We had a pretty good opening here with 120 taking down Moon 2-1. And now it's time for the WCG and WGL champion Infi against the former WGL champion and war chief of the Horde, Lin.
Yeah, dude, these games today, absolutely amazing. Undeads, Night Elves, humans, Orcs, all represented with some of their best representatives. And China, if you will, takes the lead. 1-0 overcomes Moon. Will that be the case now as well, as China once again goes up against South Korea? Infi has had a super successful 12 months, let's say, winning WCG and WGL, looking once again like the strongest human in the world. But the thing is, he's strong with all races. He's been playing a lot of random, a lot of Night Elf, even against Lin. We don't know what's coming from him, but whatever it is, it's gonna be scary.
We had a debutant in 120 and Moon, who's won it all, but not WCG. Infi, two-time WCG champion in 2009 and 2019. Lin, of course, taking it as the second Korean in 2011, after Remind was the first in 2010. This could be everything, man. This could be an absolute giant match between these two. Two of the most successful players of all time. Here we got the picks and bans. Amazonia, Terranas, Last Refuge, Twisted out, leaving us with our three maps: Northern Isles, Concealed Hill, and Echo Isles. And it's a full best of three, so we will see all three maps.
Yes. And he was just played as Orc. As human, I mean. Wasn't he?
He was.
Okay. So he's playing his main race. That is exactly what I was hoping for. He's also very good with Night Elf and with random in general. But this is probably the best human versus Orc that we have in the world. How these two have pushed each other towards the limit, have discovered the meta together, have developed the meta together. This is the cutting edge of the highest level of Warcraft, and I'm really excited to see what they're going to show us.
Yeah, it's going to be the question. How good is Infi with human against Orc at WGL? He displayed his mass breaker style, no sorcerers at all, and he was able to control the biggest threat of Orcs, the TC, really well. But it's been 2 months, and 2-month time for Lin and his Orc brain, his 200 IQ Orc brain, is a lot of time to come up with solutions. So there's a lot of question marks here. Will it be Infi playing the same style? Will it be Lin with new ideas? This could pave the way for the meta in this matchup for weeks to come.
Yeah, absolutely. For this tournament, for many other tournaments, these are the big influencers. These are also the two big favorites in the group. In our group B, we have Infi, Lin, and Shishi, and Soin. So, looking at this list of players, what do you think these two guys how do they go into this match psychologically? Do you think they can afford to lose here and still make it out pretty safely out of the group? Or do they think a win here is absolutely crucial?
I mean, you've been with me in Xi'an in July of 2019, and we clearly saw that WCG is the biggest tournament, especially for the Chinese. So many people were traveling to Xi'an, making it a packed crowd there, and that showed me, okay, WCG is definitely something special. I don't think that Infi wants to lose even a single map in this competition at all.
That would be pretty crazy, dude. If he goes 3-0 through all his group stage games, then the knockout phase, then the playoffs. But it's Infi, dude. It's possible. I imagine many of you out there saw him at WGL where he did take the championship. Not without dropping maps. It wasn't quite that crazy, but he still played super strong, extremely solid. But didn't go up against that many orcs, did he? Okay, I might be lying. I don't remember exactly his way through the bracket. But we didn't see Lin in the semifinals. We didn't see him in the grand final. And I guess that was a bit of a disappointment compared to his season before that, where he got the championship.
Yeah, it seems to be the case for Lin. If he faces a Night Elf, then that's the or a top 2 Night Elf, that's the roadblock for him. If he's facing Lawlight or Moon, the tournament is over for him. Not the case here. I mean, yeah, he's gonna face Shishi, but definitely not a player of the tier of Lawlight and Moon. So the group should be pretty good for him, and especially if he defeats Infi, where it could be a 50-50 affair. You kind of want the group stage win, I think, to get the better seeding in the round of 8 knockout situation, to then get a good position for the final 4, because only the top 4 get some prize money here at WCG Connected.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of prize money also to be given out. We're waiting for the game to start here soon.
It is one of the biggest tournaments of the fall, I would think. It's more prize money than DreamHack. It is more prize money than Next, so just below WGL. Good amount of money, and that's only for the solo competition. The team competition is following afterwards. Once again, if you're tuning in late, we're going to have WCG content from Monday to Wednesday, all at noon. And we got 16 amazing players from China and Korea fighting for the WCG Connected Championship. We load in to map number 1 as we see our 2 cities here representing, of course, the countries that we have. Our beautiful game, Warcraft 3, the best, of course.
Obviously. Who's going to be the next champion? Who's going to prove themselves here in this year's WCG? A tournament that the entire scene is looking towards, and a place where stars are born.
Exactly. Such a rich heritage. Such a big history of WCG. Insomnia 2003, the first champion. Now 17 years later, people still fighting for this title. In the upper right, now absolutely confirmed as human in the blue, and for China is Infi, and the war chief in red. For South Korea is Lin.
Starting off with a skip barracks here, from what I can tell, which isn't that much of a surprise nowadays. We're gonna see the Farseer here. Anything else would be extremely surprising indeed. Farseer it is. Skip barracks will be a very fast tech here by Lin, trying to get tier 2 and the TC right away, and will be giving Infi nothing for free with a lot of pressure early.
Looking forward to this. So looking forward to this. How much damage is he able to do? How good are his last hits? Infi, is he the best human when it comes to last hits and denies? I'm always in awe when I see him play around creep camps.
Yeah, there's not really any weaknesses that Infi has, are there? He's a brilliant player, he executes really well. He can even play all races very well, which really helps him with his knowledge of what to do. He has been in those shoes before, of the orcs, of the Unners and Night Elves, knows what hurts, knows what can be exploited. But human is still his best, still his main, and here now he will show us how to play up against Lin, who is insanely strong in this matchup. He was also himself like undefeated in this matchup for like half a year or something.
Yeah, super crazy. Winning WGL on this very map against Infi's brother-in-arms TH, when it was ELL versus Rogue Warriors. Infi, of course, part of Rogue Warriors as well, but Lin stealing the big team championship for $120,000. Does that still sting, or is Infi fine with that, having the WGL championship under his belt now?
I think he can be pretty satisfied. He's had some good victories lately, but the real competitors, they always want more. They want to win more. They want to prove themselves more. They want to improve themselves more as well. So far, I'd say Lin should be pretty satisfied with how this game is going. Wait a minute, that's a 4th farm.
Oh, he did that versus Focus. He did it versus Focus in WGL, and he got crushed, and he's still of the opinion that this is somehow working.
Yeah, 4th farm, no tech. Infi's gonna be fast expanding. Now, it's not super fast. There's certainly a delay here noticeable, but it's a tier 1 expo. And as you said, he did it against Focus, where then Focus went for super heavy map pressure with Raiders and Shadowhunter. And he was able to win that game, Focus was. How good is the harass? How painful is this gonna be to creep here for Infi? The camp is of medium strength. It's not the easiest, but it's not the hardest either. And level 2 will be reached for the AM, but the big ogre is still up for grabs.
But no chain lightning to get the last hit. Infi is putting some pressure on the Farseer, and Lin retreats.
He got it.
He got it, though.
He got it with the Wolves and the Farseer. Really well done. That's a big deal. That is important steps towards level 2. That's the AM's level 3 delayed by a ton. Good item with a Pendant of Energy. But now tier 2 for Infi is finished. For Lin, I mean. And he's going for a Panda set.
Interesting choice. AoE against the tier 1 human. There's only Footman, there's only Militia. And the Archmage, of course. So Breath of Fire can be a big weapon. Oh, and it is good. It's really good. Starts to snowball here. Infi's expansion might just be cancelled, and the Archmage is down to 30%. Has to TP out soon. Peasants are falling, not being able to finish it. There's more Breath of Fire. This is a slaughter.
A bit of Miss Micro there, walking himself into a surround, and with that TP out, I think that should be a cancel. Militia cannot construct. They have to wait for the duration to run out, and this expo is cancelled. Oh my god. Well, it is not unheard of that Infi taps out of a game early, and in this case, it's very justified. GG. Whew.
Yeah, we said this series might set the meta for the next 2 or 3 weeks, and I think expanding on Northern Isles is out of the meta, buried by Lin. Focus had success against his expo play as well. It took him like 30 minutes. Infi was town portaling 500 times in that match. Lin just goes for not really an all-in, but a big push at the beginning of tier 2. Didn't even need the units from his bestiary.
Yeah, and that would have become more scary after, wouldn't it? With more raiders coming, maybe some walkers coming, but he kills them early. AM mispositioned. I wonder if there was more mistakes in that play. The expo creep itself seemed to take really long. He waited for like 7 peasants or something to finally take the camp. And the Panda arrived in time to Breath of Fire while the expansion was coming up. It seemed a little slow, but normally Infi min-maxes all the way through. Yeah, you might be right. Maybe fast expansion is just not something you can do against these top orcs.
Yeah, I wouldn't play it against them, so maybe they should take lessons. But yeah, perfectly executed as well. That big Ogre Magi steal, that's I think a big part of why Infi was tapping out. He knew level 3 is super far away and not even that good against Farseer Panda. Game 1 goes to Lin. Can the Orc take it 2-0 just like 1-0 did against Moon, or will we get a deciding set on Aquile? Second chance for Infi, Concealed Hill.
Should be a very different game. They are much more one-base focused. Fast expansion, doable on some maps. Concealed shouldn't be one of them. We have poison creeps, we have a strong natural, we have an orc right around the corner. It would be, yeah, I almost want to say suicidal. And why is Infi playing this fast expo style? He was so strong with his one base into breakers, into tier 2 expo if he has to. But he is trying to get ahead early, I guess, with the fast expansion. At WGL against the Night Elves, that worked really well. But against the early strength of Grunts and Farseer for Orcs at the beginning, it's a lot harder to pull off.
Yeah, I think it's always hard to tell why Infi is doing something. Maybe he's just of the opinion that it's the best. Maybe he's of the opinion that he needs it. Maybe it's just a sign of confidence and he enjoys it more and goes for it that way. the next map, Concealed Hill, will be a very, very different game. Fast expansion, impossible. That should be way more straight up.
Yeah, I think so as well. You know, when we talked about when we talked to Moon recently in his interview, it said something really interesting that I never really thought was a big determining factor for these top players. He said, "Yeah, I wanted to try out the strategy in the tournament, you know, in the big deciding game. I always thought practice was the place to try out the strategies, but some of the top players seem to think, well, the best testing ground is a big tournament because that's where people are going to try the hardest." And the test, the experiment on map 1 didn't work out, so now I guess it's time to fall back to standard. And you touched on it briefly earlier. At WGL, Infi looked really good with his triple priest into breaker right away, skipping Sorks against Orc, which is quite unheard of, but it's his special style, and we all know how strong he is.
All right, let's see if Infi can do better or if we get the second decision and Korea fighting back against China after the loss of Moon. We got Lin in the upper right of Concealed Hill. We got Infi in the bottom left.
Farseer, AM, that much is to be expected. Anything else would be quite outrageous nowadays. Question is, how many farms are we gonna see by Infi? How fast is his tech gonna be? Are we gonna see a fast barracks for Lin? I would assume not. And yeah, how is the creeping gonna look? What are the power spikes gonna be in the mid game? And how can these players level up? Can someone perhaps expand? It's gonna be interesting to follow.
So, is it Farseer again? Definitely is. And on the other side must be Archmage again. So, yeah, the questions are, what is Infi playing on tier 2, right? That's the big questions here. Is it Sorks? Is it just mass breakers? Is it maybe even rifles? Because he found out about something. Really hard to predict how this game goes. There's lots of possibilities.
Yeah, a few humans have been mixing in rifles again lately, especially the Koreans. I feel like I've seen it more and more of. But it helps with creeping a lot in the mid game, but it has the big issue of always being able to be punished hard by TC Stomp. This is where the breakers are so much stronger in the late game. They can be difficult to properly transition into in the mid, but Infi seemed to be confident in his transitioning skills for the most part. Gonna start off with creeping here. Footy sent out to scout. And yeah, Lin's gonna be starting with a fast tech. Triple farm by Infi. We've been seeing some humans play double farm tech as well for the faster tier 2. But I think I prefer to see the triple farm. You have more footies, you have a few more peasants, you have a bit more punch on the map right away.
Alright, with a little bit of punch with the circlet as well. Lin finding his opponent here now once again. 0 creeping, no experience. Just being a little disruptive, but he's following the Archmage. Is he supposed to go into the expo? Into the economy?
I think Infi is forcing this right now. Infi moving out the AM says, okay, if you don't follow me, I'm gonna have level 2 here in no time. And Lin decides, yeah, he has to follow the AM around because the #1 priority is prevent level 3. I like this play by Infi as well. He's teching now, and with the AM being out on the map, he could call the militia to the green camp really soon and then get level 2 that way. It's all about the experience game. Okay. Infi wants to get level 3 if he can, by any means, and Lin will try to prevent it as much as he can.
Alrighty. Maybe there's a possibility, especially the Chinese orcs do it a lot, like go for the burrows. That is kind of a relic of the past, but surprisingly for the Infis, the THs and the Fortitudes, still a very, very valuable weapon. Could also try to take out the turtle spots or creep his own turtle spots at the same time while competing for the Murlocs here.
Yeah, this is the AM completely drained of all his mana, no aura yet. I think this is pretty decent for Lin so far. It would be a crazy last hit and he gets it again! Lin's been playing some Dota, but there's still lots of creeps around. It should be another one. Are you kidding me?
Wow, that was the big one! Lin is so good at that, and Infi is usually the king of these last hits and denies, but not anymore. Gimme that crown, Infi! Lin playing out of his mind in this set so far.
Yeah. Super well done by Lin. Amazingly played. To be 100% honest, Not the best way of playing around it here by Infi. A little... No, wait, did he get it again? No, okay, the AM got that one. That was close again, though, here over at the green. And this green camp has slow as well, so the footy's now getting slowed down. AM also taking damage. It's a ton of pressure on Infi already.
I agree, man. That forces an early shop, if not more. Another footman falling if chased by the wolves. Might deny himself into the creeps. Not even that. 1.5 on the fast. Yeah, Archmage is forced to heal at the fountain. Can't, of course, creep. That is way too weak at the moment. And Lin must have a pretty big smile on his face, judging from this early game.
Yeah, everything's going pretty much right. He's going for Shaman, he's going for Warmill, he's going for an early Bestiary. So this is looking a lot like his WGL build back then. 2 Grunts, 2 Shaman, 2 Kodos. That's how he won WGL around a year ago.
That was also a year ago. Let's see. Infi found some solutions. And he's also amazing in dodging Devours. Usually. If he plays his A game. Is this his A game here? Lin, feeling confident, goes for Aura first.
Lin would love to just be left alone right now. Get a few more units. Creep the natural. Expand. And creep the TC quickly to level 3. This is a big upside of this map. The TC level 3 creep route is really good. You take like this camp, for example, first. Then you go over to the natural. Creep that for level 2. Go for the merchant after. And just like that. You're level 3 really quickly. With grunts and wolves, that is fairly easily doable. For the human to follow up with that same creep route would be a lot harder. And he, of course, will need to creep for a second hero MK, who's now out, but has no experience yet.
Definitely a prestigious match between the two. The last one went to Infi at WGL in a qualifier, though, in the August qualifier. They always meet in qualifiers. They never meet in WGL, unfortunately. But big fight for the red spot now. Infi cannot allow Lin to steal this with the Stormbolt. There shouldn't be. Nope, gets it here. And Katka's pipe a little unfortunate, but at least Lin doesn't get it because that would have been the dream for the Shaman and the TC.
Okay. This made quite hard by Lin to creep this camp. It's only the Ogre Lord, but Infi gets it, and only one peasant dies for this. Doesn't really look like the most efficient usage of Lin's time here, in my opinion. He didn't open up the natural. He doesn't have an expansion coming. He doesn't have a TC level 3. I'm not sure so much about this aggressive moving.
He's still ahead of the Mountain King, and that's kind of what you want. Level 2 for the fast year now as well. Question is, does he have to open up the expansion now? That would be pretty expectable from Infi's side. And then he can move however he wants. He can be aggressive, but a little ill-advised as well with not having level 3 yet. MK has clapped. But yeah, no units yet here. So what's the plan for Infi?
So here comes the Expo. And early Headhunters, by the way. Very early. 2 grunts only into Headhunters. And I imagine he doesn't have brute strength then either. Breakers coming. Control magic. Infi's lumber is looking pretty good. He could counter expand if he wants to.
He loves multiple bases. That's for sure. And this tower, definitely an indicator for this. We have lots of priests, finally level 3. And once again, he must control the camp with the Mountain King. That's so much easier now, but also a lot of space for the TC who found level 3. Kodo is out. Headhunters are coming for more damage.
Alright, so we seem to be going into 2 base, 2 base. Oh, there's 2 footmen up there. Could they cancel something maybe? 2 footies, is that enough damage to cancel a Great Hall? I'm not sure, but I'm certain that Infi knows.
Could need a ward summit, but it's far away. Okay, 2 footmen at the expansion. Is it enough? It's definitely distracting. And that's also time that Lin can't use to push Infi's expansion. I like that play. Panel of energy.
Heal scroll and invul now. Lin is ready to fight. These 2 consumables definitely help him quite a bit. He's also got the purges strong at the moment against the watch elementals. Footy's putting in damage at the Expo. Is it enough? I don't know. We'll see soon.
Might
The
be.
human expansion also coming up. That one is not getting cancelled.
Not at all. Infi doesn't have the firepower. Grunt is taking care about it now. And it's only at 70%. Tower is helping. Okay, it's not enough, but it's severely damaged. It's gonna be burning right off the bat. We have 2 claws on the Farseer, Invo Potion on the TC, that's big. Heal Scroll on Infi's side.
With the speed scroll, looking to find kills. Gets 1 priest. 1 priest would be a little low for a speed scroll. Okay, gets 2 priests. I think that's fine. 2 priests taken out. Speed scroll gone though. It's the only speed scroll. But the thing is, normally orcs always have trouble when they have no speed scrolls anymore because the human slow trap then kicks in. But this is Infi. There's no Sorks. It's only priests and breakers. This is so much harder to play as human. But Infi rightly has the confidence, feeling that he can do it even without slow.
And he definitely showed that he can. Needs high level clap though. Gets it for level 2 here at the turtle. Yeah, a deny would have been big. Maybe he can get the 2 footmen. Clap was good into, or decent into the backline. Kodos come in and eat without really being contested here. The second breaker as well. Nope, Infi dodges that one. Raider about to fall. Lightning shield on a lot of footmen. That's big AoE for Lin.
Oh, does he not have Dispel? There's no Dispels coming out from the priest. Perhaps they forgot about the upgrade. Lots of damage from that lightning shield, but also from the clap. Nicely placed into the backline. And here comes the heal scroll by Lin. Used at the perfect time. Shaman, though, they are still squishy and more will be taken out. We have almost no Shaman left anymore. Supply-wise, we're still very even, but Lin has way more gold.
Oh, the clap kills another unit here. The priest barely making it out. And I think the majority of losses on Infi's side were footmen, right? So there's still a couple of breakers. There's still a couple of priests. Raiders are streaming in. 50 supply for Lin, though. Close to a level 3 Farseer. Close to a level 4 TC.
Might be going for another heal scroll here. Stormbolt could look for kills, but again, patient by Infi. He's holding on to the mana for the clap, for the big engagement. Okay, now he will use it. Taking out Raider is certainly valuable. And nice clap into the back as well. Good damage right there. And now, the age-old problem. Breakers. How to deal with them. Kodos can devour them, yes, but if you don't have a devour ready, what then?
Exactly, and only one at a time. While everything else getting wrecked by AoE. Lin retreats after getting the double level up. With the Endurance Aura and no Sorceress here. That's doable. Needs to gather some more falls. Expo is up on both sides, both with double income. What's the play for Lin? Can he go to Torrent somehow?
Doesn't really seem to have the lumber for it. He just barely has around 200. Engages into the next fight. Takes out a priest. Stormbolt and Clap, though, keeps Lin controlled. The TC's low already, low HP and low mana, in fact. Grunts are supposed to do the damage against the breakers, and it seems to be kind of working, actually. With Ensnares, he's going to find another pickup here and another Devour as well. The breaker numbers are dropping.
Yeah, and he's getting an attack upgrade, so this is going to be even better for Lin. Takes another one out with more crowd control, with the Ensnares. Who would have thought that Grunts would bring in the damage in a fight? 2020 is truly a crazy year.
He's also losing Grunts for this. It's not like he's saving them on the way out. So he's kind of trading Grunts for breakers. Lin, with a slight supply lead, falls back to the fountain. Always great to have for orcs on this map. Not just because they have high HP pools, but also because orc always has to invest into heal cells. It's clumsy, it's expensive to heal everything up, whereas human just heals up for free with priests and the AM aura. Now a bit more creeping for Infi. If he should be able to get level 4 MK, that would be very nice, but this camp by itself isn't quite good enough. But at least it could be a nice big item.
Okay, we see Wyvern by Lin. There's limited anti-air on Infi's side. That's the problem. Of course, Stormbolt, but you don't really want to use Stormbolt at this time in the game. You want to use Clap. You want to have so much AoE. And now Infi is in trouble because Lin is pushing for the space. The shop is already gone. No breakers anymore. Raiders with Lightning Shield in the economy. And Infi is reacting only now. Mountain King about to connect. It's going to be a big clap to split. Too late. Kodo about to munch. Infi again dodging that.
So, 2 Shaman falling and the TP. But still, cool attack by Lin with the lightning shield and the grunts at the same time, like grunts at the expo, lightning shield into the main. But at the expansion, the harass didn't do too well. I would love to know if these Kodos got over Devour, but perhaps we're going to find out later. Infi's about to hit double level ups over here. And that fountain gives a big item as well.
Huge. I think Devotion would be amazing against the physical damage of grunts. 2 Wyvern up now.
MK full mana, almost level 4, pendant, and mana pot in the inventory. The late game carry is starting to truly come online. But he doesn't do that much against Wind Riders. What is the counter to Wind Riders? What's the anti-air for Infi gonna be?
Yeah, we've seen Dragonhawks in the past. We've seen Gyros in the past. Nothing really seems to be working long-term except rifles, but they're also a liability. This Wyvern transition is forcing Infi into a unit that he doesn't really want to play.
Yeah. And with the workshop, that is going to be gyros. But you need to be very careful with the gyro control. If you move them too far forward, they get ensnared. If you stack them up, there's going to be bats coming in. Very hard for Infi here to make the right choice.
Yeah, and sometimes bats are fine. Gyros are fine because an orc is just going for grunts and shaman, and they don't have the bestiary. But Lin, playing raiders for a long time, has double invul, double heal scroll, and double expansion soon, going up to 3 bases, or at least trying.
He's controlling this map so well. The timings he's expanding, the attacks he's choosing, the way he's forcing these fights. Here's another one, coming in with the ensnare. But the TC doesn't have the easy connection anymore. This is the upside of the breakers. The MK with the clap, still looking good. TC now going to the back, wants to reach the priest, and he does. Hits 2 of them, and the Mountain King.
Chain Lightning was good as well. MK bringing in the damage, but still only level 2. That's not too great. Going for the MK now himself. 50% down. He has an invul trying to trigger that. Clap once more. Has to pop the mana potion and the invul potion soon. TC still looking very, very healthy. Infi's army looks like it's falling apart compared to the 73 supply of Lin.
Yeah, still everything quite green here. We're going to have another heal scroll to be used. Speed scroll as well, repositioning. MK still needs to be careful. Infi's holding on with all that he can, but he doesn't have that much left. It's a big supply lead now for the Orc player. Falling back into the towers, the MK in trouble, getting focused hard. The tower's getting attacked as well, and that's it! GG is called. That's the 2-0 for Lin.
Oh, wow. And seemingly easy, I would say. He wasn't under big threat at all in this game, in this series. He seems to have the right answers at the right time and the greatest execution when it comes to these last hit steals. Absolute key to early game victory. Lin outlast hitting the former best last hitter in the game.
Really impressive. Always having the right units at the right time, knowing how deep he can go in. Didn't fall to the mass breaker wall against which Orcs oftentimes have a big issue, right? Dealing with. And even if he doesn't win there, and if then Infi can mass up more and more breakers, in the next fight, Lin is going to be on 3 bases. And then he can really go crazy with his production. Never went tier 3. Didn't go for the new fancy pants torrents that, for example, Grubby showed us in an impressive way. No, it's just tier 2, proper fighting, perfect engagements, controlling the map, and getting ahead little by little. That's what a champion looks like.
Indeed, Infi seemingly not in tip-top shape here today. And Lin bringing his A-game for sure. Orcs pretty successful recently, weren't they?
Yeah, perhaps the crisis is over? I don't know. I'm sure there's a lot of people who would disagree with that. But Lin showing that it can absolutely work out if you play it well, and he certainly did today. It's always a joy for me to see Lin playing so well. And we're not done yet. We're going to see him play again. The victory has already been secured. But just like earlier, we're going to have a 3rd map to be played here, which is going to be relevant for the map score. Echo Isles is going to be our map. And that could be, once again, a very different game. We saw the fast expansion attempt on map 1. That didn't work out. But Echo Isles is a much better map and almost a map made for fast expanding.
But this is Infi. And knowing Infi, he might not care about the third match too much, actually. What do you think about a good old Firelord tower push? Naga tower push? Something tower push?
You know what? With orcs skipping barracks so much nowadays, this might not even be a bad idea. But if he doesn't skip the barracks, then it could very quickly turn into a bad idea.
Lin is also very good at holding these pushes. It was just
hell yeah.
Just pointing out that there is this possibility.
And don't forget about the new spiked barricades. Hells yeah.
We see it more than we saw it before the buff.
Yeah, it's in a tower push situation against footies, it is actually kind of okay, which is quite funny. Is that what we're going to see now? It could be so many different things. Could be one base breaker play, could be fast expansion play, could even be an MK first play in a crazy world.
Yeah, I think the most likely scenario is an expansion by Infi. And then the question is, will Lin follow up? Will he heavily push this? As I said, many X factors here.
For a little while in the meta, we even saw Paladin Merc Camp creeps into Expo. You remember that? Chimiko did that for a while. I saw it like 3 games, and all 3 games, it looked amazing. And then it was gone again. Then it was nowhere to be seen again. Which probably means someone found a perfect answer on ladder, and then it was, yeah.
That does happen to Chimiko strats, doesn't it? He comes up with something and then bye-bye.
Looks good for like a week, and then someone's like, by the way, this is the build against which you have no chance. And yeah, then we're back to standard. I wonder if that's something that was going to happen to the Beastmaster as well or not. It's going to be something to be discovered for Lawlight and Moon through the next few weeks. Moon we saw in the first match today. He lost to 1-2-0. There it was China being victorious, but Lin strikes back for South Korea with a win here. And the possibility for our first 3-0. But Infi, I think Echo Isles should be a pretty good map for him. Not going to give you any reasons, just going to be my gut feeling right now.
Hey, that's usually my part to do it. Seems like we take a little longer here to load into the game. How do you think, how satisfied is China with the day if Lin takes it 3-0 now? They were so happy after 1-0 defeated Moon, and now his king, Kingfi, is struggling in his first set.
Yeah, doesn't feel good, certainly. China always want to be on top, and recently they have been. But Infi now, our world champion, our double world champion, I guess, if you will, is losing his first game. But still will have a chance to get out of the group stage, of course. But especially for Korea, this must feel good. Moon had been bested before, Lin had been bested before, Lawlight had been, but now Lin is fighting back today in one of his strongest matchups, where I'm sure many other orcs around the world will be looking towards and trying to get inspiration from.
And maybe the Chinese adopted Lin already. He's been living in China for many years. He's married to a lovely Chinese woman. So maybe it's not that hard in that case. So it's an Archmage, no tower rush shenanigans early, plus a Farseer. Lin not moving away from the old man on the wolf.
He's going for the Peon Scout. That's kind of forgot about that. That's a new development, right? On Echo Isles, you send the peons into the Merc camp, you sacrifice it, but in return you get a Shadow Priest. This is something that quite a few orcs have been doing lately. It comes at a price though. It's a Peon Scout, which means you're gonna be lower on lumber, your tech's gonna be later, and of course the Shadow Priest also costs around 200 gold. But having an early Shadow Priest with early Abolish also has big impact in the early game against an AM.
Yeah. Both sides have summons, water elementals, of course. Not that easy to dispel as they have more HP than wolves, for example, but makes it so much more easy to deal with them. Infi starts his green, and Lin is going for the mercenary camp, as you said. Observer is attempting to go for it. There we go. Shadow Priest it is.
Oh, he even saves the peon. Somehow. When I saw that before, the peon was always dying. But Lin, of course, improves on it a little bit more. Watch Elemental has not been denied, so that experience is still up for grabs. Is that a bait, maybe? By Infi? It might be. That's a tower. Before the tech, that might be an expansion.
Wow. He's already under pressure and the Shadow Priest won't help him. Lin, of course. That seems to be his golden road. Tech, no barracks, shop late as well. This time was a little more expensive. Shadow Priest seemed a little confused. Is still fighting with some creeps here.
Yeah, definitely took a little bit too much damage there, the Shadow Priest, but he can heal himself a little, which might help. Aggressive shop in the middle of the map. Once again, Lin might be looking to be very active against his expo. Perhaps the Panda second is something he's playing with as an idea. But this expansion is easy to creep, even without the AM and the Watch Elementals here being involved too much. Works out well. Another last hit stolen. Another last hit stolen.
Dude, if he gets the Magi again, I'm losing my mind. So important to get the Brilliance, alright. It's tons of damage on this Archmage though, as the Wolves were both right-clicking on the first hero of Infi, and yeah, that's a big indicator for more pressure, the shop in the middle of the map.
Yeah. But this time, the tech for the York is not fast enough to have the Panda right away and go for the Peasants instantly. Also, this Shadow Priest really hasn't done that much yet.
Nah, he was distracting the creeps, messing with them a little.
Alright,
But
I
yeah.
guess so.
Limited mana there, of course. Wolves tried to get more kills, but the damage lands on them, so he's forced into a resummon. The only thing he can really target is the Archmage, and Infi is fine with that. Way better than the expansion on Northern Isles.
I think every single peasant survived, right? That's great. So, very different game now for Lin. I really wouldn't like to see the Panda here, but it seems like he's going for it.
Yep.
How much pressure can he really do with him, though?
Or does he have another plan? Waits for the gold. Now got it.
It is the Panda.
It is the Panda. Okay, time for some barbecue. Not too much damage on these workers. Infi at 35 supply though. For a long time stuck at tier 1.
Panda has 3 to 4 breaths on level 1. This will stack up this damage on the footies.
Doesn't want to work against an arcane tower. He's going there again. Saving that. Next breath. Fastia Archmage is face to face.
Still a stressful situation for this AM. Always getting pressured. Doesn't have any form of easy healing. This arcane tower needs to finish. This arcane tower needs to finish.
Oh, he has another breath of fire in a bit. Could get a double kill. And the tower mass repair by Infi. It's limited mana burn. Okay, but the tower survives. At what cost, though? It's not that great against grunts. Maybe they can hang around. The mana on the Panda is gone. And with that, the Panda mostly useless.
And I think that was a pretty solid defense by Infi. It was a little scary. Tower was close to falling. AM was dropping super low. But he holds. There's more footies coming in. There might be more militia coming in soon. Farseer hits level 2, but no mana for the Zam.
This turning out to be okay, but still no tech. So Lin wasn't able to close the game as he was on Northern Isles. How does he follow this up? Is it mass raider time?
Yeah, I'd like to see raiders. Maybe not purely raiders, but a few of them. Run around the map, find kills. And Lin has absolute map control right now. He could creep everything in a certain amount of time, of course. But he's not creeping. He keeps on pressuring. Love the farm, by the way. This makes it so the AI bugs out sometimes a little bit when you A-click in. And you see the grunts attacking the farm, not the peasants. Really smart.
True. That breath of fire was a little premature. Maybe didn't want to get in range as Infi has 2 towers up now. Good range on these arcanes as well. Surround! Okay, the Iceman finally showing his game face.
And yeah, this pressure play here, this follow-up, doesn't do that much. Oh, does he get another grunt? Oh,
Observer, move back.
Oh, he did!
Wow.
That's a big deal.
Really cool to see that the players are fighting for every single map here at WCG. It was the case with Moon in series number 1, and it's definitely the case with Infi here now.
And I think Lin's in trouble here.
Demolisher, dude.
Demolishers. Okay. Yeah. There's no late game transition. There is no late game plan B. This is all in.
Well, if you ask Kiwikaki, then he's making a point for burning oil.
Yeah.
But I don't see that here.
And how far did Kiwikaki get at last WCG?
Didn't feel like playing it, I think.
I thought it was right. Okay.
Farseer might be surrounded.
Farseer? Yeah, right?
Oh,
Wow, 6 surrounds by Infi this game.
There's no TP. He's
the
just
king
dead.
of the footies. Oh, you're right.
Yeah, I am for once. And that's the first hero kill while he was preparing for the last big push.
Damn, dude. Sick game by Infi here. He kind of got walloped 2 games in a row, but for map 3 he shows up a little late. Infi off to a sleepy start today, but at least we see how well he can play. Yeah. And this game is looking now amazing for him.
Yeah, I agree. He will be sieged in the main, but Archmage is close to 3. Tech should be progressing soon. Only now level 2 Panda. 1 Demolisher doesn't do that much. Put some pressure.
Kill the altar and delay the second hero. Ooh. Oh, he sends the Demolisher back though, so I guess not. Infi already at 50 supply. He's been massing so many footies. He can't even go for a second hero right now.
I mean, against Raiders, why not? And as long as the Panda's not level 3, again, why not? He's waiting for the Kodo and the second Demolisher. Maybe it's good to just gather more power before trying. He has 1 push. He knew that. He wasn't at 50. He had no Farseer. Yeah, it's still a little weird movement.
2 Demolishers. Wow. That I would see the day.
You gotta watch some more NA Warcraft, man. You see it a lot there.
Oh, I watch NA Warcraft all the time, dude. You know how much I love it.
Shout out Incinerator. Okay, Mountain King is out. He didn't grab the chance to kill the altar. There was a backup altar even.
Yeah, I like that. Why not? It's only 180 gold. It's pretty cheap, considering he's on 2 bases. And now I can creep the Merc camp. Should be a fast level 2 MK then, if he solo creeps it. Doesn't seem to be doing that though. And well, once we have a couple of breakers coming out, maybe a bit of sorceresses, Lin's gonna be in some serious trouble.
Yeah. Raider, Grunts, Walker, Demolishers with the Farseer Panda combo. That might be a first.
Yeah, it's something new. You know, sometimes you have to explore new possibilities in life. You can't just do the same thing all the time. You know, that gets boring. It's,
well,
life's a journey. It's a discovery.
Okay. We'll see how well that goes here. Panda level 3. That's good. We get a lot of priests. We even got Rifleman by Infi. Also very rare to see. His MK is already super tanky with Ring and Parry up. And now, when is Lin pushing? He's constantly down a base.
And now we'll be getting caught in the middle. If the Demolisher hits land smack bang on the casters, they do good damage. But it's hard to hit the targets exactly. It's a bit of luck involved there as well. And Infi, we see him almost up at 70. Commendable by Lin that he managed to get up a pretty big army here as well. But it's not the army that you dream of now, is it?
No. Very heavy, very supply heavy. 3 Demolishers. That's nuts. They don't do much bonus damage against the priests. Yeah, there might not be too much healing. Good AoE against the footmen. If you can get rid of them and keep the Demolishers safe, there might be a chance to get something here. We'll see. Kodo is there as well, boosting the damage. Question is for how long. Panda not that impactful. That Breath of Fire was nice. There's no heal scroll for Infi. He's about to lose 10-12 supply, and the Demolishers are super safe. So is the Kodo. Is that somehow working?
With this row of speed, suddenly they're super fast, but once it runs out, then problems start to arise. Clap again. MK completely out of mana now. Panda has a bit of mana still left. He's level 3. 3.5 in fact. Nice saves on these raiders. One of them will be going down though. Infi still has lots of income. Lots of reinforcements should be streaming in from the main soon. Does he not have a shop down here? A Regent's Row would be amazing.
Shop is over there. Interesting position. Haven't seen that at all. Regent Scroll is great. Can it be cancelled somehow? We have a Wand of Mana stealing. The siege damage is coming from the Demolishers. One of the Sanctums is down already. Limits the production, but Infi doesn't need production. He's still at 80.
Oh, needs to save the expansion though, and that is a lot of siege damage. Now going back in. Oh, you can see the volleys against the castles if they land.
Yep.
One sorceress being blown up right away.
Panda has mana again as well. But there's breakers streaming in, and they're of course resistant against it. Panda has no item to save himself. Another speed scroll popped, unwilling to commit to this expansion. This might just be the last breath for Lin.
Oh, and it's level 3 MK as well, right? With these peons here. Yup, it sure is. Out of mana at the moment, but once he has that again, gonna have a scary, scary clap. And now if the Demolishers are very well protected, they can be decent. But if they're not, then they will fall very quickly.
Yeah, that's an issue. And the Farseer hits the deck for the second time, even though there's Spirit Link. That must be game. And that concludes the second day of the first day of WCG 2020, the Connected Edition. That's it.
There it is.
2-1 for Lin. 1-0 wins his match against Moon, and Lin wins his match against Infi. The current reigning WCG and WGL champion starts with a loss into the tournament.
Alright, 2-0 starts for both of these games today, but at least they come back. The top favorites still in their groups, both of them. Meaning, even if Moon lost today, he still can make it out of Group A and is expected to. And same is the case for Infi. But there was 2 fun games to start off the day. And yeah, we're going to be back tomorrow and the day after.
Indeed. Oh boy, WCG. We're going to be here every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for the next, 10 weeks or something? Feels like it.
Yeah, something like that.
As we not only have the solo competition, also the team competition. Lin taking it here 2-1. Great start on the way to his second WCG title. That's the games of the day. 1-0 to Moon 1. Infi 1, Lin 2. 1 victory for China, 1 victory for Korea. Those were big names here. That could have been a semi-final right there as well.
Absolutely. I wouldn't be too surprised if we see those making it to the playoffs, to the very end. But there's going to be a lot of other strong players as well, willing to show their skills, waiting to show their skills. We have only seen half of the players from Group A and B, and none of them from Group C and D. We have 16 players here battling for the title, battling for the medals. And yeah, it's going to be lots more strong players to be displayed over these next few weeks.
We have seen Infi today, and we're going to see his human brother TH in the same matchup as Infi was today against another Korean orc in Focus, the runner-up of DreamHack Asia. We also see WFZ versus Sock in a human versus undead matchup. Sock recently super impressive, made it to the grand final of Next. That was not to be expected. And WFZ, we haven't seen him in quite a while. So he definitely has to prove himself there. Sock goes into this as the big favorite. Between TH and Focus, we'll see about that.
Yeah, it seems like on paper we do have favorites here. I would say TH as well, the favorite. Just looking at the names on paper, same as Sock. But Focus recently has been looking good, right? Especially in DreamHack, we saw him going really deep, surprisingly deep. So Focus shows us that we shouldn't sleep on him. He's still one of the best orcs in the world. And WFZ, he has had a rough time for a long time, but the most recent results also seem to be somewhat uplifting, I hope. But soccer as well has been looking very strong lately. We're gonna have 2 more amazing games tomorrow, and I hope that time around I'm not gonna lose all my coins again.
Yeah, the Warcraft3.info coins, the matches will be up on our beautiful scene page, Warcraft3.info. You can gamble your virtual gold on these matches. We say goodbye for the day. Mark it in your calendars. WCG Monday to Wednesday at noon here at Back to Warcraft. See you tomorrow.
And discover the unreal. Introducing the Samsung NVMe SSD 970 series. The key to unlocking your power. With the performance to reach beyond the expected. The capacity to illuminate a world of ideas. And the reliability to sustain it all. Samsung's latest NVMe M.2 SSD. Unreal performance realized.